Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 120. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 7th of May, 2014, beginning as usual with my first 5, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Original Sin number 1 of 8. Who shot the Watcher? The Watcher, the mysterious space god who's been watching us from the moon for as long as we can remember, is dead. Thus begins the greatest murder mystery in Marvel Comics history. As Nick Fury leads the heroes of the Marvel Universe in an investigation, other forces are marshalling as well, and other questions are arising. Why is Black Panther gathering a secret team of his own, including Emma Frost, the Punisher, and Doctor Strange? Who is the Unseen? What was the original sin? What was stolen from the Watcher's lair? And most importantly, who now holds the Marvel Universe's darkest secrets in the palm of their hand? Series writer Jason Aaron shared the appeal of the story. Quote, the idea of doing on one hand a crime story, it's a murder mystery, but played out on very much a cosmic scale. I had a lot of fun writing the Thanos Rising miniseries, which was kind of my first taste of Marvel Cosmic, but it was still a very dark and gritty story. I think the first couple of arcs with Thor, God of Thunder were the same thing, Thor chasing a serial killer, but it was this grand, epic, cosmic, sci-fi fantasy kind of story. Original Sin is the opportunity to do something else like that, but on an even bigger scale. This is me getting to do that kind of story, that kind of murder mystery, but played out with all the major players of the Marvel Universe. This book has all the big characters, the A-listers, but also I get to play with some characters who don't normally find themselves at the center of Marvel events. We see characters like Punisher, Ant-Man, Emma Frost, and Black Panther all playing a big role. Of course, the main Avengers are there right from the get-go, but I wanted it to be more than just an Avengers story. I wanted to reach out to all different corners of the Marvel Universe. We don't always see the X-Men and the Avengers in an event together unless they're fighting each other. This one really pulls characters from all different corners, and a lot of them haven't been a big part of the Marvel events before. Nick Fury is a big part of this. He sort of becomes the Marvel version of a homicide detective for the sake of the story. He's leading the investigation. Close quote. He then clarified, old Nick Fury. At number 2, we have Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man number 1, part 1 of the biggest Spider-Man story of the year, Revival. Miles is back in action with a new status quo and a new outlook on life. A big villain from Peter Parker's past is alive and well and about to turn New York upside down. The last page will have Ultimate Spider-Man fans screaming. This issue can't be missed. Series editor Mark Paniccia says, Spider-Man's greatest enemy will haunt Miles Morales, and in more ways than one. This is going to break all kinds of molds. Readers are going to flip. Close quote. Series writer Brian Michael Bendis adds, quote, the reaction to Miles is one of the great joys of my life and career. I'm so excited to join David Marquez and Justin Ponzer for the next and the new. I'm going to have to unplug my computer when this issue ships. Close quote. At number 3, we've got Cyclops number 1. Cyclops just discovered that the father he thought died long ago is alive and well, and a space pirate. Spinning directly out of All New X-Men comes the first ongoing solo series for one of the time-traveling original X-Men. After the events of the trial of Jean Grey, Scott Summers stays in space to learn some valuable lessons from his dad. 1. How to shave. 2. How to talk to girls. 3. How to steal a Badoon spaceship. Series writer Greg Rucka gave his plans for the series, quote, Marvel's got this huge galaxy and there's so much out there, so there's so much to work with, and there's so much you can create in it. One of the things I want to do is allow Scott and Corsair to see things we haven't seen in the Marvel Universe before, other elements and other worlds. Let's meet some new aliens. Let's not keep it to our 4 or 5 big power bases in the galaxy. There have to be other things out there, you know what I mean? And Corsair has had a lot of time to experience those things and to show those to Scott. Those are elements that I think most sci-fi stories in the Marvel Universe don't get to do. You don't get to relish it because everybody is Earth-based and they leave the planet with a purpose. I have to leave the Earth to do this thing, or because aliens are invading, or this person was abducted. What happens here is Corsair says, I've got a convertible and we can put the top down and let's go on a road trip. So that means we can go big city, small city, we can go see the Grand Canyon or Crater Lake, we can do it all. That's sort of our starting point. At the base, it's a real simple book. It's a father and son who have not had a chance to be together. It's a chance for Chris to connect with his son at an age when he absolutely wasn't there. Chris' interaction with Scott and Alex had been when they were men. This is a young man dealing with the single most important male figure of his life, and they're trying to have some fun and have a good time and get to know each other and catch up, and maybe ask some of those questions that really have to be answered. Close quote. At number 4, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 1.1, Year 1, Learning to Crawl. He sought revenge and found responsibility. From that night on, a new life began. Join Peter Parker as he takes his first steps towards finding his way in the world of Spider-Man. The chapter you never knew about the story you know by heart. Dan Slott and Ramon Perez bring you a new and reverent spin on the first 60 days of Spider-Man. Series writer Dan Slott provided more details about the series. Quote, "The end of Amazing Fantasy is Peter walking into the distance, his head bowed, having learned that with great power must also come great responsibility. Our story starts with Peter walking toward you with his head bowed. It's one thing to know that with great power comes great responsibility, but what do you do with it? If you read the early issues of Amazing Spider-Man, he doesn't start patrolling for crime until issue 3 or 4. What is he doing? Every adventure he either stumbles across it or he's looking for money. Oh, if I could only get a picture of the Vulture. He doesn't wake up one morning and go, I need to catch the Vulture. He sees a thing in the Daily Bugle requesting some photos for good money. That'll pay the rent. Maybe Aunt May won't have to hawk her jewelry. The path that he's on will eventually lead him to being a hero. That's the story. It's his path to becoming the Spider-Man that we know. There's a story that you haven't heard. This is the part of Spider-Man that we didn't know about. There's this one issue where he gelled and Stan and Steve have their voice. You get this Spider-Man that's carried on to this day. I started looking at those issues leading to it going, what was happening to Peter? Is there a story there? And I think there's an exciting one with a lot of heart. It's not just about the writer and artist finding a voice. It's about the character." Close quote. And at number 5, we've got X-Men No More Humans hardcover. Best-selling author and classic X-Men scribe Mike Carey and superstar artist Salvador Larroca joined forces for X-Men No More Humans, the first X-Men original graphic novel since the classic X-Men God Loves, Man Kills. Following the shattering events of the Battle of the Atom, the X-Men awaken to find all the world's humans gone. From normal, everyday folks to the Avengers and Fantastic Four, all Homo sapiens have disappeared. It's up to the disparate sides of the X-Men to come together, get to the bottom of this mystery, and find a way to get the humans back. But do all the mutants want their human brethren to return? X-Men No More Humans will also include a code for a free digital copy of the graphic novel and a free digital copy of X-Men Battle of the Atom #1 on the Marvel Comics app for iOS and Android devices. Marvel actually produced an animated trailer for this book.
For years, the X-Men have dreamed of a world safe from mutants. Now, their greatest dream has become their worst nightmare.
Where is everybody?
X-Men, No More Humans.
Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Iron Fist, The Living Weapon #2, Kunlun Under Attack. Danny Rand returns to the aid of his adopted home, but will he make it in time? More of the secret origin of Iron Fist. At number 7, we have All New X-Factor #7. One of the country's most outspoken anti-mutant leaders has a mutant daughter. It's up to X-Factor to rescue this young girl from her father. Serval Industries brings you the heroes you need in any situation. At number 8, we've got Batman Eternal #5. As the Dark Knight's weekly series continues, Red Robin takes center stage in a major Gotham City mystery that has Harper and Cullen Rowe caught in the crosshairs. At number 9, we have Moon Knight #3. In this issue, Moon Knight punches ghosts. And at number 10, we have Miracleman #5. Book 2, The Red King Syndrome begins. The twisted genius who created Miracleman initiates a long-held plan that threatens Miracleman's family. The origins of Dr. Emil Gargunza and his Project Zarathustra are revealed. Issue number 5 includes material originally presented in Warrior number 12 through 15 and bonus material. For the best of the rest from DC Comics, we've got Aquaman and The Others #2. The Others plane is blown to bits at 40,000 feet. How will this group of non-flying heroes survive? Plus, who wants the team's Atlantean relics and why? We've also got Detective Comics #31. Death comes to Wayne Manor, and the #1 suspect is Bruce Wayne. In order to solve this mystery, Batman's investigations will lead him to the mysterious man known as Sumo. Next, we have Godzilla hardcover. In May 2014, audiences will witness the epic rebirth of the King of the Monsters as Legendary and Warner Brothers bring Godzilla to the big screen. To pave the way for this iconic creature's return, Legendary Comics is proud to present the official Godzilla graphic novel. Delve into the incredible mystery, generations in the making. At the dawn of the atomic age, humanity awakens life forms beyond imagination, unleashing monumental forces of nature. This explosive, larger-than-life adventure is a perfect way for fans to experience the new Godzilla before seeing it in theaters. We've also got New 52, Future's End #1. 5 years from now, the DC Universe is reeling from a war with another Earth, leaving the world unprepared for an approaching evil that threatens to destroy the future. Can a time-traveling Batman Beyond help a massive cast of the DCU's finest avert the impending apocalypse? Find out in this new weekly series that will forever alter the direction of the New 52. In this debut issue of the New 52's weekly series, Batman Beyond arrives 5 years later. Grifter turns against humanity, and a Justice League member dies. And we've got the Wake number 8 of 10. They say don't go in the ocean. There are monsters out there. Terrible secrets in the deep. But Leeward isn't scared of any of that because the thing she's running from on land is much, much worse. From Marvel Comics, we've got Black Widow number 6. The entity behind the attack sits alone and mysterious on the dark water. Can Natasha infiltrate the floating lair? Black Widow's strength and cunning will be put to the test as she follows the trail of blood and destruction to the beginning. This is a mission too dangerous even for S.H.I.E.L.D. Read the thrilling conclusion of the first arc of the book that critics are calling an example of just how good a comic book can be. Next we have Loki, Agent of Asgard number 4. Ancient hero Sigurd wants his magic sword back from Loki. The All-Mother wants Sigurd back from Midgard, and Loki wants to put a crew together for a caper that'll rock the 9 realms. Somebody's gonna get what they want. We've also got Magneto number 3. Magneto cuts loose. At the source of the newest Sentinel threat, Magneto puts what's left of his magnetic powers to good use. This may very well be the first step in Magneto becoming the villain he once was. Next we have New Warriors number 4. The Kids Are All Fight, part 4 of 4. The end is here as the second evolutionary war begins. The New Warriors face off against the High Evolutionary. Can they stop worldwide genocide? Should they? How many lives would you sacrifice to save all of humanity? Judgment is coming for the Marvel Universe. We've also got Punisher number 5. The Dos Solis plan to take over LA begins. War in the streets. And where there's war in the streets, there's Frank Castle. The fall of a friend? And we have She-Hulk number 4. Jen's new client Christoph Bernard has been kidnapped by his dad, Dr. Doom. What does fellow lawyer and recently outed man without fear Matt Murdock know about it? It's an international jailbreak, She-Hulk style, as Charles Soule of Inhumanity and Javier Pulido of Hawkeye take us to Latvian soil. From Dark Horse Comics, we've got Terminator Salvation, the final battle number 6 of 12. Years ago, cybernetic infiltrator Marcus Wright sacrificed himself in a noble effort to save the life of John Connor. Now, as the alliance between serial killer Thomas Parnell and Skynet endangers Skynet's own survival, the machines pull out their last ace in the hole, the resurrection of Wright. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Turok Dinosaur Hunter number 4, end of the first arc by Greg Pak and Mirko Kolak. Turok's out of options. From Image Comics, we've got Alex plus Ada number 6. Ada now sees the world through different eyes, but life has become more complicated for her and Alex. And we've got Apocalypse Al number 4 of 4. In the fiery conclusion to Allison Carter's investigation, she at last comes face to face with the man trying to bring about the end of the world, who has been working in secret with someone close to her the whole time. If love can be the reason to live, can it also be the reason to destroy everything? This time saving the world may require the ultimate sacrifice. Does Al have what it takes? Or must we all confront the possibility that there's an ominous reason that this is only a 4-part series? Out in trades, we've got Invincible Universe Volume 2 trade paperback. The greatest heroes of the Invincible Universe take on their greatest threats. Red Eye, the Lizard League, and Marriage. Collects Invincible Universe number 7 through 12. Next, we have Batman Volume 3 Death of the Family trade paperback. After having his face sliced off, the Joker makes his horrifying return to Gotham City in this epic from issues number 13 through 17 that shook Batman to his core. But even for a man who's committed a lifetime of murder, he's more dangerous than ever before. How can Batman protect his city and those he's closest to? We've also got Uncanny X-Men Volume 3, The Good, the Bad, the Inhuman hardcover premiere edition. The new Xavier School changes as the effects of Battle of the Atom are felt, and Kitty Pryde and the all-new X-Men join Cyclops' renegade squad. Meanwhile, Magneto goes off on a personal mission that sets him at odds with much of the X-Men and the Marvel Universe. As Magneto reaches a crossroads, everything he's fought for is called into question, and he's forced to make a decision that will change him forever. Elsewhere, the ladies of the Uncanny X-Men go out on the town and find themselves face to face with the effects of inhumanity. And Cyclops declares a training day for the X-Men students, but the training seems to be that the teachers just abandoned them to fend for themselves on a dangerous mission. What will these inexperienced young mutants do now? Collecting Uncanny X-Men number 14, 15.INH, and 16 through 18. And we have X-Men The Adamantium Collection hardcover. The supersized slipcase Adamantium Collection format is back, and it's the X-Men's turn in the spotlight. It's the best and brightest moments from the Mighty Mutants' long and storied history like you've never seen them before, and packed with extras. Thrill to the X-Men's debut, seminal battles against Magneto and the Sentinels, the classic Days of Future Past and God Loves Man Kills stories, Magneto's return, Cyclops and Jean Grey's wedding, Cassandra Nova's deadly attack on mutant kind, the discovery of a cure for mutation, the X-Men's exodus to San Francisco, and the original Teen Team's shocking arrival in the present day. Collecting X-Men number 1, 57 through 59, and 141, Uncanny X-Men number 142 and 500, Marvel graphic novel number 5, X-Men 1 through 3 and 30, New X-Men number 114 through 116, Astonishing X-Men number 1 through 6, and All New X-Men 1 through 5. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available, and I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers, and you can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section at he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.